Hey, my name's Terry McNair with Real Turf Solutions, and hey, I just appreciate you guys purchasing our system. Wanted to go over some of our features of our new irrigation controller that we've installed, and we'll show you a few things about it. Alright, so this is our X-Core residential irrigation controller. This controller here, as you can see down here, has three zones, 1, 2, and 3, has a common wire. This is wired into a plug on the side, so it has a 120 outlet. And so we're going to talk about some of the features of it. As you can see, we have it in the run position. This is the position that you want the system to be in during the times that you want to use it. One of the features, if you turn it to the left, you can see that it gives you the current date, the current time, and those features. And what you would do is you just mash this button to the right, and you can adjust the date and the time by using the up and down arrows for that. And that would be the current date and the current time. Over here to the side, you see this little button right here. This is a solar sync for a sensor. You can add an irrigation sensor so it can monitor the weather and those things. On this particular controller, we have it turned off, but if you had that feature, then you would make it active as well. The next feature here is, this is our start times. This is when we would actually want the irrigation system to run. This particular one, we have it set for 5:45 a.m. Typically what we see in the Georgia area is we would like to see the irrigation system to run early in the mornings and typically be done first thing in the morning before the dew is dry. And then we would also want the system to run infrequent, meaning that we want it to run, for an example, 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, instead of every day, 10 minutes a day. You can set multiple start times on this particular controller. You can set up to, I believe it's 4 different start times. So if you wanted it to run 4 different times in the day, you could do that. Run times. The runtime is the amount of time that the irrigation controller is actually running. So in this particular scenario, we have it set for 15 minutes. You can set it for however long you want for that runtime. That runtime will vary depending on what you're using or what you're irrigating. Annual flowers or shrub beds may only need 15-20 minutes. Turf areas may need 30-45 minutes, depending on the turf type, depending on the soil mix and those variances. But you can set those times. This is kind of a trial and error, so you can look at it and try it and see, and then if the grass is still needs water, then you can make the time longer. This feature here at the bottom, it says watering days. This is the actual days that the system runs. This particular system is set to run Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. You can adjust that by just mashing the plus and minus sign. When you mash the minus sign, you'll actually see that it puts a line through the rain droplet there. That means it's not going to run on that day. If you want it to run that day, you mash the plus sign, and then it will do that as well. And so you can adjust the days across there. This particular controller has a program on it as well, multiple programs. So you could have it set to have different programs, which would allow a little bit more flexibility, but it also complicates the system as well a little bit. Another feature here, the next dial, is seasonal adjust. We recommend all of our customers just leave seasonal adjust at 100%, but if you wanted to adjust it because of the temperatures or the humidity, then you can raise the percentage up and down. So for an example, and it will adjust automatically the amount of time, the run time for the irrigation. So this particular one, it was set for 15 minutes. If we adjusted it and we wanted it to run 90%, then we would lose a minute or 2 off of the run time. So it would actually knock it back to that for that feature. You can raise it up, and if you're running it for 10 minutes and you wanted to raise it to 150% seasonal adjust, then it would run 15 minutes. The easier way to do it is just to adjust the run times instead of dealing with the seasonal adjust, because doing the seasonal adjust, if you're not paying attention you think it's running for 15 minutes and it's only running for 10 or 5 or something different because of that. This is this one on the bottom left here. This is called a solar sync function. Again, when I told you that we had the sensor over here, you have this feature. It's called solar sync, and so we would put basically a weather station on the top of the house or on an eave, and it would communicate with the controller and tell the controller what the temperatures are. It would tell us what the rain is, how much rain we've had, and basically what it does is it communicates with the controller, and it basically will tell the controller to come on, to not come on, within certain parameters. It makes it less of a hassle or an issue when you're in communities or neighborhoods that won't allow you to water at certain times, or it just makes it easier from the standpoint of your system being kind of self-contained. And the last two features on this is a manual start, so we can actually start each individual irrigation zone by manually turning it on. It doesn't affect our program settings over here. It just will affect that one station or that one runtime. And the way you run a manual zone is you put it to manual station. We have zone 1, and we have it set for 15 minutes. If we want 20 minutes, then what we would do is we would mash this button to 20 minutes. And then what we would do is we would just flip this button straight to the run sequence. When we do that run sequence, you'll see that in this corner of the display here, you see the little irrigation head and it's flashing. That'll let us know that the irrigation system, the heads are running in this particular case. And so if we leave it in this position, then once the 20 minutes is up, the irrigation system will automatically reset itself, and it will be ready to restart at the next time that it's scheduled to run. This is great for when you want to water at one time, or you just want to touch up, or you want to make sure that everything's getting adequate water. And if you say you want to turn the zone off, then all you do is you just flip the system to off. You see the indicator on the right here is the irrigation head with the circle and the line through it. That in itself lets us know that the system is off. I'll go back to this feature because say you wanted to run zone 2 or zone 3 on this particular one, then what you would do is you just mash the right arrow or the left arrow, and it changes to what zone that you would like for it to run. And then again, you just go to the run position, and the indicator shows us that it's running. During those times of the year that you want to turn the system completely off, this particular system has just the system off. And what this will do is system off basically shuts everything down. The system doesn't run during this time frame. You also see the indicator with the arrow that line through the irrigation symbol. That just lets us know that the system doesn't run and it doesn't have any issues as far as it being on. And then in the spring, when you get ready to start out the season, you want to check your settings over here, make sure that everything is good there, and then you just simply want to turn the irrigation controller to run. The other great thing that you can use, always keep in mind, is you have your X-Core manual. It comes with it, and it goes into exact and even more details of the controller and the settings in the controller and those type of things. And then also remember, you can always give us a call at Real Turf Solutions, and we can come out and help you with your irrigation system.